can see behind me, we have a beautiful Whitetail Institute clover plot here, but a lot of grasses are starting to grow. It's the end of May, and we need to take care of those so it doesn't overtake this plot. So what you're gonna see today, we're gonna be using a new product from Whitetail Institute called Arrest Max. You're gonna be hearing a little bit more about the technical aspects of this a little bit later from the folks at Whitetail Institute. But in the meantime, we're gonna get this sprayed, kill all these grasses, mow it over, and show you the great results we have. Well, as you can see behind me, we have another clover plot. This particular one is called the Right of Way, and we have broadleaf as well as grasses in here. So to take care of those grasses, we're going to be using the Whitetail Institute Arrest Max. To take care of the broadleaf weeds we got in here, we're going to be using their sleigh. So we're going to get to it here. We're going to spray this plot, come back in and mow it, and we're going to have a great looking clover plot. Okay, this particular plot is called the Grandpa plot. If you've seen in the past, had some tremendous success here. My son Colin took his first ever deer. But this is an example of what not to do. You can see we let the grasses get a little bit out of control in here, but I still think we're gonna be able to salvage it, but you never wanna let it get quite this bad. But we're gonna spray it anyway with the Whitetail Arrest Max and probably the sleigh as well, depending on how much broadleaf we have. But we're gonna spray it here. I have a hunch we can still save it, but this is an example you don't wanna let it get this high. Okay, this plot is called the Cattail plot, and this is where my son shot his very first buck. This plot was really, really good to us last year. Half of it we had in pure attraction, and the lower half we had all in clover. So all this behind me is clover, and it looks really good right now. It might be kind of hard to see, but all this, there's some grasses in here that we need to spray with the Arrest Max, but underneath it is solid clover. So we're gonna get this sprayed with the Arrest Max. We're gonna have another great looking clover plot. This plot behind me is called Deceiving Upper, and as you can see, we have a lot of not only broadleaf but grasses in here as well. So we're going to be spraying this with both sleigh and Arrest Max. So we're going to get to it, get it sprayed here. As usual, come back, mow it off, and hopefully we'll have a great looking Whitetail Extreme plot. It is about a month later since you saw us spray the Arrest Max in this food plot, and you can see behind me we have an absolutely gorgeous clover plot now. We were getting a lot of grasses in here, and that's what Arrest Max is for. It's going to take care of all those grasses. We're going to show you a couple of other food plots as well where we not only sprayed Arrest, but we sprayed the sleigh to take care of those broadleaf. But if you take care of these food plots, they can last you 5, maybe even 6 years. Behind me we have another gorgeous Whitetail Institute clover plot, and you saw the befores of this. It was absolutely grown up in grasses and in broadleaf weeds. So we sprayed this with both the Arrest Max as well as their sleigh product. And you can see now there's no weeds in here anymore. It's nothing but clover. So again, I know we talk about it, we stress it all the time. You take care of these perennial plots, they can last you for a very long time. This is the Grandpa plot, and if you remember, this was one we said this is what you shouldn't do, and we had grasses about 2.5 to 3 feet tall, and you can see behind me now we sprayed this with the Arrest Max, which took care of all those grasses, as well as the sleigh. We had some broadleaf weeds in here, and behind us now we have nothing but a beautiful clover plot. So again, we're going to say it over and over again, you take care of these perennial plots, they can last a really long time. We are back at what we call the Cattail plot, and you can see behind me I am really excited about this particular plot. Absolutely beautiful clover. We sprayed this, we had a lot of grasses in here. We sprayed it with the Arrest Max. We came back in a couple weeks later, we mowed it off, and we have nothing but clover. So an absolutely gorgeous plot. I cannot wait till hunting season. This is a deceiving plot, and I am most excited, I think, about this particular plot. When we came in here, we had a ton of grasses. We had broadleaf weeds. We sprayed it with the Arrest Max as well as the Slay from Whitetail Institute. Came in a few weeks later, we mowed it. You can see we have an absolutely beautiful food plot now. Half of this is Imperial Clover, which I'm standing in right now. The other half is Whitetail Extreme. So a really, really good looking food plot, and I am very excited to hunt it come this fall.